Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of
Take 47.
We are on episode 4 now. Thank you all
Ooh.
so much for joining us on another wacky adventure with two kooky characters. Today, we have a question that we're kind of asking ourselves here. If we were to run a movie theater,
How would we do it?
how would we do it? Now, I think to entertain this, or to make this more entertaining, I think we should eliminate the practicality of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, let's cater to small directors only, and then all of a sudden, like, have someone in the comments or, like, you know, whatever, be like, actually, you wouldn't be able to financially sustain your business, like, stuff like that. No. This is gonna be just
A fun, idealist vision.
yeah, you just sit there like, hey, like, what if I could run my own theater? Like what would happen? So without further ado, let's knock this topic out of the ballpark, guy. So I'm curious.
Okay.
What would you do if you had your own theater? If like we ran our own theater, what would you like to do?
I think that I want to make it more of a homey experience. You know, like I think that all these movie theaters that are upgrading their seats and upgrading their sound systems and just really trying to maximize on the comfortability of it, I think that's the best way to combat the movies at home market that is encroaching on movie theaters. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
like because then people will be so much more comfortable in a movie theater than on their stupid leather couch. Like, it's just...
exactly. That 100% makes sense.
So I think comfort
agree.
would be a staple of my movie theater.
I definitely think that's actually a good point, because I would also like to kind of add on to that topic a little bit of icing on the cake, if you will. I think some of them also look very, I think, too modern, I think is the word. Like, I'm a big fan of, like, the nice, well, homey look. Like, I like the you know, like, semi-lower lit, you know, like, nice looking, like, interior that people can go in and be like, wow, this is really nice, instead of, you know, this bright, you know, friggin', you walk in and it's like all the movie titles and stuff are like in one spot, and like it's all these bright neon colors and all that stuff. Similar to like the Cinemark in Springfield.
Yeah, that one is very extravagant.
Yeah, where it just looks very, very wild, very like quote unquote futuristic, if you will. I would much prefer like the old fashioned movie theater look. Like, the movie theater, for example, just a point of reference, visually, would be like the theater in Inglourious Bastards, where it's like that really gorgeous architecture.
Oh, that's very old-fashioned.
Yeah, like the artistry on the walls that are like just really ornate, like designs and like statues and all that stuff. Really just like the Hartford stage and theaters like that. I'm a big fan of like that nice, like, old aesthetic.
I agree, because it makes it feel more like you're in a place that is worshiping art than it is like you're in a place that's just supposed to show you something, you know?
Yes. That I 100% agree with that. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. I think I mean, they're not technically theaters per se because it's outside, but I know drive-ins really haven't changed much. I mean, there's not really much to change, which I think is a good thing. Like,
I agree.
I mean, I've only been to a drive-in theater like once or twice in my life, and I'd love to go more. But I really like the whole kind of chill vibe that it is. So that would be a really cool thing to have. For me, I would also think, I mean, like the example I gave in the beginning, I would definitely, if I had it my way, our theater would be a platform for smaller directors to get their name out there.
Sure.
I think, of course, catering to bigger, or at least acknowledging, bigger corporations exist. Like, hey, a Star Wars movie comes out, obviously I'm going to show that. But I would like, maybe a week or like a weekend where it's like only small directors. Like, so you got, so, in Theater 1, we're going to have, this really promising director. It's his first, it's his feature film debut and all that stuff. And just kind of like a big film festival, if you will.
Yeah, and that sounds very, very fun.
Yeah, I feel like it would be really fun.
What if we just took, like, all the competition out of our movie theater, right? Like, and by that I mean, like, what if we created separate venues for separate genres of movies.
Ooh.
So that we, like, didn't even have to, like, there would be 2 separate theater ones. So it's not like only one movie or only one producer could occupy theater 1. We take away the unfairness of like the size of your studio.
Yeah, like a seniority type thing.
Yeah. And we just create another spot where, if you want to go see that kind of movie, go to that type of theater. Or go next door to see, like, our hall of animated movies.
Oh, yeah. That would be really cool. That'd be really fun. I would love to just give more directors and stuff like that, the smaller fish, if you will, a chance at, getting their name out there and potentially becoming one of the bigger fish in the sea.
I think that's a very, very good idea.
Yeah. What would you do? What other thing would you kind of throw into the mix of this wacky theater?
Honestly, I think that I would add more discounts, and I would add more opportunities for just, like, fun things to happen. And that's not just because I myself am frugal and would love to spend less to see a movie. But it's always like, want to go see the early bird showing, or want to go see the $5 Tuesday. So, like, what if every day of the week had something different going on? Maybe it wasn't always a discount, but maybe it's just like, hey, on Wednesdays we only sell popcorn with this flavor on it, or like, I don't know, just make fun things at the theater accessible so that people have incentive to go more often.
Yeah, where it's kind of a 2 and 2 type thing, where it's like, yeah, we're going to see a theater and the added experience, the cherry on top, where it's like, yeah, because, we should definitely go today because, they have that really weird, like, cotton candy popcorn today, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, but if you go on Friday, every purchase of a ticket comes with a complimentary blanket for the movie. It's like,
Exactly. I like that. Like, hey, have this nice, like, fleece blanket, nice and comfy. Like,
I would fall asleep in the theater, though. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you give me a blanket to watch a movie,
that's a solid point.
Done.
That is a solid point. I would probably be way too comfy.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, on the plus side too, if the movie was bad, at least you have something
to do,
you, cozy and comfortable. To have something to do. And, sleeping is more interesting than whatever movie you ended up watching. So I really like the wild idea of throwing, sort of like gimmicky items out to just make the theater going experience itself more enjoyable. And then, of course, having that extra bonus of actually going to see a movie.
Yeah.
I also think having a really cool lounge area as kind of like a chill spot, if you will. I'm a big fan of kind of like those smaller, like, mom and pop type of like hangout places, where it's like you and your friend, like the aesthetic of a theater is really cool to me. That's why, like, I love working at the theater, is because I'm surrounded by the stuff
you become
love.
A part of that aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly. It's this really cool, just nice vibe that, people can just go in and, if they showed up to a movie early, they can just sit there, and the interior is welcoming enough where, they can just sit there and hang out and, feel comfortable. which I definitely think would be really cool as well. I also think concession prices should be astronomically lower.
Oh, thank God you said it.
Yeah, I just working at a theater, we have a discount that's half off if we're on the clock, and even then, sometimes I'm like, God damn, this stuff's expensive.
It's still too much.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, it's nice to get like a whole thing, like a single pizza, right? And then, you know, it's like $6 for this one, you know, pizza with like 4 slices. And then, you know, you put your card in, and suddenly it's like $3.50. So it's like, all right, cool. But like, I mean, I don't think you should be paying $6 for a bag of M&Ms. Let's be real here. So
absolutely.
You know, so yeah, I'd rather, you know, kind of eliminate that whole thing, and then also kind of throw in movie prices being cheaper as well.
The workaround on that one is quite difficult, though, just because in the traditional theater setting, as far as I understand it anyway, the reason that those concession prices are so high is because the theater makes no money off of the ticket sales.
Very true.
So we would have to find a way to profit off of our own ticket sales or sell something else to make the concessions cheaper.
Yes. That is a good point. That is 100% true. But I mean, let's eliminate practicality.
Oh, right, yeah. This is completely idealistic. Yeah. So concession prices, low.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, I don't mean like ridiculously low, like so dirt cheap that it's like back in, you know, the 20s or whatever, where it's like 5 cents for a bag of popcorn. I mean, like something like...
I'm saying, though, if I hand you $10, I should be able to get a drink, some popcorn, and get some extra fucking butter on there.
$10 should at least give you at least a medium soda, medium popcorn, and like 2, maybe 3 candies.
Yeah, man.
Because in reality, that'll give you just the popcorn and just the drink if you got both of those together. And you probably wouldn't incorporate tax, which means that you don't have enough money. You need like $11 or $12 to get those two. But no, here...
Nothing hurts more than that tax.
No, right? Yeah. Right?
It bites you.
Even on the clock, when you have the discount, it's always like that. Those 2 extra numbers at the end. You're like, why do you have to be there? Go away. Like, come on, man. Why can't you just make it like a whole dollar? Like, you know, $3. Good. No, it has to be like $3.09. All that fun stuff. What else do you think we would add to this theater, if you will?
All right, hear me out. This is kind of a radical adjustment, but what if the theater was only open from let's say 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Let's say it was only open 9 a.m., 9 p.m. 12 hours where it's open to the general public to come see any movies that we're showing.
Okay.
From the hours before and after that, though, what if it was just a library?
Of just a bunch of films?
A bunch of movies that people could go into theater spaces and put on the movies.
Ooh.
Like, it's just a library of any movies we can get our hand on.
Where you could, like, rent out a little theater and just... You know what? I kind of feel like, you know, I wasn't around for this movie when it came out. I wasn't around for, say, Jaws. So then, like, you go and I would love to see Jaws on the big screen. That'd be great.
And you can just, like, you can't sleep. It's 1 a.m. You're like, you know what? Let's go to the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Put on a movie.
Like $20 to get a whole, like, little theater for yourself.
What's
I like that?
It's date night, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. on a Friday night.
There you go.
Let's go to the movies.
Right? And you could pick, like, any... Oh, that'd be great. That would be absolutely great. I think what should also happen, and I mean, it does kind of happen nowadays, but I'd like to expand on a little bit more.
Okay.
For, like, crazier movies, like, you know, the big deals.
You're talking about, like, Star Wars and stuff?
I guess,
like
yeah.
Disney
or,
movie
like, or just a movie
that... Tarantino movie, or...
Yeah, or, like, a movie that we think, if it's a small director movie or whatever, for example, kind of referring back to our our first episode, where like say Robert Eggers was doing a Call of Cthulhu adaptation.
Oh gosh.
We do a premiere party.
That really gets me going.
Right? But I would
a premiere party.
Yeah, like I'd love to do like a premiere party where like we set the whole aesthetic to like creepy Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
And like in this like hangout lounge that we have, we sell, a bunch of fun like Lovecraftian themed food and drink and all that stuff.
Like
Cthulhu
plushies.
Yeah, like maybe we do something really like wild and kind of gross where it's like for like the popcorn we add like this really good flavoring, but we make it black like the color of like squid ink or something like that.
Yeah, you heard they got squid sauce over at that movie theater?
Right?
Right on the popcorn. They put it right on the popcorn.
Yeah. Like I think that'd be so much fun. Like you it gets people excited for the movie, and then all of a sudden, right at that moment, you're like, all right, everyone, it's time to go in and show this movie. And like you make that it's like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I would love to do that. That's so much fun.
That is similar to like do you remember when people were trying to add other dimensions to movies? Like now it's 3D and now we've added smell-o-vision and it's 4D because
is smell-o-vision a thing?
It didn't become a thing, but it's like, oh, that guy is in the woods in the movies, so like what if it smells like the woods in the theater? To make the audience feel more like they're in the setting.
Is that what 4D does? Isn't 4D like some
4D puts you... So 3D is you see the images like you were there. 4D is we make the theater environment the same as what it is in the screen.
Right.
And that has obviously yet to become common practice, but you see it at places like Disney parks and like Universal parks where they will actually create the world, and that's like a 4-dimensional experience.
Yeah.
And that sounds like what you're talking about, and that would be amazing if it was so commonplace that it was just held at our theaters.
Oh yeah, it'd be really cool. And like I'd love to make it like an after hours thing. We have the whole regular day, of it being that kind of gets me excited. Like I wish I had my actual theater and Robert Eggers made a Call of Cthulhu. I'm still vying on that, by the way, Robert. Please do a Lovecraftian movie. I know I mentioned it the first episode. I'm still hoping.
Yeah, don't think we've forgotten about that.
Yeah, at this point I'm never forgetting about it. It's probably one of my most anticipated potential ideas ever. I really hope that you do it. Anyway,
I will be in your inbox. Sorry.
I will personally phone call you. or call you. I mean, obviously I'd have to use a phone to call you. But anyway, no, like I'd love that, like during the day we kind of advertise it too. Like you see some of the decorations up or whatever, and then some people are like, oh, hey, what's going on? And like right when the doors close tonight, when all the regular movie theaters are right when all the regular films are done showing or whatever, boom, big party for Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that.
Dude, it's like when you're going bowling and then they're like, oh, we're shutting off the lights and we're turning on the blackout bowling.
And everyone's like, what?
And it's like, yeah, you've been bowling before, but it's awesome.
Yeah, but it's got lights now. Cool lights. Yeah, it'd be stuff like that. Like you guys are just watching a movie. Yeah, but it's got decorations too. Like we got cool Lovecraftian themed items in here. Like, come on. We have like Cthulhu juice and stuff.
Cthulhu juice.
Just fun, like kooky names. Like,
yeah, man.
I'd love that. Or like during Halloween, we have a whole like big Halloween horror fest where each theater has a classic horror movie. One theater has The Thing, another theater has for example, Jaws, and then another one's like Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream,
that would
Halloween.
Be phenomenal.
Yeah, like we just devote our whole theater to the holiday.
And you just you could like pay a flat rate at the door
to see all of them.
To see anyone you want. You could just walk into any theater at any point, and it's just like a revolving playing of all these horror movies.
That'd be so much fun. Cause like if maybe you go on a date night, it's Halloween, and your girlfriend or boyfriend is like, I don't know, man, I'm not a big fan of horror movies. And then, it's like, it's all right, we'll go see Scream. And all of a sudden they don't like Scream too much. They think it's too scary. And you're like, all right,
we'll go into
like
the thing.
Yeah,
instead.
There you go. Yeah, and then they'd probably be scarred more. But it's okay. But like you have the different options to mess around with, and that's great. I would love to do that. This sounds like so much fun. I wish movie theaters did that more.
Question. I guess, oh yeah.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, eliminating practicality, so
right,
perfectly fine.
Right.
So, what is your question?
My question for you is, you have been an employee for Cinemark.
Yes.
So what would you like to see operate differently from an employee's perspective at a movie theater that you owned? So, like, yeah, if you were an employee at our movie theater, what would you be like, I can't do that again? That needs to change from Cinemark.
Something to avoid.
Or from anything. We're not calling you out, Cinemark. You're great.
Yeah. I think, honestly, I kind of have to... I think, if anything, it would just be reverting back to our previous episode where it's just catering to bigger movies. Because, like I said, for example, Rise of Skywalker, we had, 5 showings in that movie. Mm-hmm. It eliminated, every other movie. Like Jojo Rabbit, for example, had 1 screening, and then the rest of the theater was devoted to Star Wars. So I would really, that's probably one of my biggest gripes, because to be completely honest, I mean the way Cinemark runs things, at least at the theater I work at,
not so bad.
It's honestly pretty cool. And I can't complain about having free movies whenever I want, so...
That sounds like a great aspect.
It is.
Working for Cinemark.
Yeah, and I definitely think that would be another thing to include in our theater as well, like the employees, they get off the clock, and they're like, oh, man, actually, yeah, there you go.
Okay,
so,
here we go.
Well, so it's like, say you're closing, right? You're on the closing shift or whatever, and you're like, damn, I really wish I could see that movie. You could wait, the next day, wait until the, showings are back, or... It's like, hey man, well, I mean, the movie's in the library. Just grab it.
Just grab it and watch it.
Yeah, there you go. Just like a nice, a nod to employees. Like, hey, you're pretty cool. Thanks for working here. Since you missed that movie because you were working here,
go watch the movie.
Go
here.
treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, and if you don't like the movie, well, at least it was free.
Yeah, exactly.
And
there is nothing more disappointing than paying for a movie and hating it.
Yeah, that's definitely...
if it's just on Netflix and you watch it, you're like,
that was a waste of time.
Waste of time.
Yeah. But no, paying to see, The Last Jedi and then walking out completely just...
It's crushing.
Depressed, yeah. You wait this whole time to see, this movie that you're super excited for. All the trailers are like, yes, go see it. It's gonna be awesome. And then you see it and you're like, wow, it was anything but. I would definitely think being super chill with the employees would be great.
And that's why our theaters will all have special therapy dogs outside the theaters waiting for you for when you hate the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't fix bad movies.
No, that's true. No matter, all the cool gimmicks we throw in, I mean...
A bad movie is a bad movie.
Exactly. You can't just go in and, be like, oh, man, at least the theater experience was good. And then it's like, hey... If you hated that movie so much, why don't you go into our puppy pen for 5 minutes?
Yeah,
say hi to the cute little dogs. They're gonna lick your face.
Because then you won't feel like you wasted all that money.
Exactly. It's like, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. And if if people are really mad, I'll be like, listen, I'm sorry.
It's our fault. It's our fault. We take the blame.
It's our fault because we allowed the movie to be played.
Yeah.
You know what? Here, have a complimentary popcorn.
Oof,
junior
complimentary
size.
popcorn.
Yeah, it'd be junior size though.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing.
Come on now.
Look, we gotta make money too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. We got a mouse to feed. Not our fault you didn't like the movie.
We gave you puppies.
Yeah. What else would you think we should add? Because right now, everyone in the community loves our theater. It's great.
Yeah. All right.
Super
look,
popular.
Ideas right now are getting pretty big brain and things are really starting to expand. So just bear with me here. But what if our theater had just some artists in residency? We had some condos off-site that we give only to movie makers,
right?
Who are up and coming, and we're you just have a permanent spot at our theater. Do your art here until you are strong enough to fly on your own.
Hell yeah!
And then go do your own stuff.
I love that.
Just
platform.
a private platform that we can support up-and-coming people with.
Absolutely. I actually, to kind of expand on that too, we could do kind of like fundraiser events for that independent director as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you guys enjoyed, whatever, if you enjoyed this movie, would you like to donate like $1 to Johnny P. Director Man's Fund?
I love his movies.
Yeah, he's so good. I think he's gonna
watch
be one
out
of the
for
best.
that Johnny P. Director Man.
Yeah, Johnny P. Director Man. I think he's the next Spielberg. I gotta say, but like it's like, hey, would you like to donate $1? And it's like, yeah, sure. And if you don't, we'll look up your address and find you. But no, but no, like I definitely love that, because then it's like a community made like film, and then it gets the audience is kind of involved, and maybe putting their money in a good place. They get like updates on the film and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
Hey, we just finished filming the movie. Now we're gonna go into the editing stage. And then all of a sudden, it's like the editing stage is done. We are about to just make up the finishing touches, and then the movie should be out. And
that would be really cool to get a behind-the-scenes look at how the movies are made that you go to see.
Yeah, like a nice, the director does like a nice, virtual tour, like a, spoiler-free, of course, for the film.
Yes.
And of course, at the director's permission, of course, where it's like, hey, I'd like to show you guys at least, what your money has gone to, and it shows like a set of like one random scene. Mm-hmm. And it's like here you guys go, we all this was possible because of you guys. Thank you, and stuff like that. Like a nice, very community-based theater, films and all that stuff. And it's be really good. Be really solid.
Be really, really good.
Yeah.
I have one more thing
Okay.
that I would add to our movie theater.
Shoot.
The last thing, and really the most important thing, is that I would get rid of those commercials that play before the movie starts. Like those, "Hi, this is Noovie." Yeah, I'm calling you out, Noovie. Who the heck is going to download your app and play that VR game on your phone,
For
Noovie?
3 seconds before
Come on.
the movie starts.
Come on, we're smarter than that. We're better than that, and you're out of our theater. Take that, Noovie.
Maria Menounos, host of Noovie, you're off the island.
Your Dunyan rings.
Your Dunyan rings. Good callback. Really good callback. Only a select few people understand that joke, and I like that a lot. I like inside jokes. I'm a big fan of that. Absolutely. I think that is great. I think we have the grounds for an absolutely fantastic movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
In real life, would it last? No.
No,
Probably not.
No, it would be done after the first week.
We probably wouldn't even open the doors.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be like sitting there, and everyone like from the marketing team and like the investors would be looking at
Just
us like
shaking their heads.
Yeah, so when are you actually gaining money? You're just gonna be losing money right from the very beginning. And just gonna be like, whatever, man. Cool. But that's the fun part of it, eliminating the practicality of the situation, because the real world is boring.
Yeah, let your imaginations run free.
Exactly, and that's why movies are so great, because it's letting your imagination run free, and you get to have these really fun, wild experiences. And I wish theaters in real life would
embrace that more.
Yeah, would cater to the fun little movies that they show more. Well, I feel like that is the perfect conclusion to this topic.
Well, I mean, we think so, but I can't speak for our viewers, so please leave in the comments what you think you'd like to have at your perfect movie theater.
Absolutely.
So that we can incorporate it into ours.
100%. This theater, this imaginary theater is community-based.
Oh, yeah.
So we would love to hear from the
our
community. Exactly. Thank you guys so much for just taking a little bit of time out of your day to just indulge in this fun little quirky episode with two dudes sitting in a car recording.
We hope you liked it.
I definitely hope you guys liked it. We have a few other episodes as well. Give those a watch or listen, if you will.
And be on the lookout for new ones.
Absolutely. We will see you guys on the next Take 47.
Bye.
Peace out.